Hi, the Asia Research and Innovation Alliance is an independent non-profit organization that embraces the cutting-edge technology for ESG and CSR impact purposes. Our mission is very simple: technology for good. Our founding members, our board of directors, our advisors, our management team are all extremely professional and experienced entrepreneurs, industry experts, educators that really want to use technology to cause greater impact for the greater good. We have worked with many organizations. We have helped government organizations, non-profit global organizations using technology to reach the underserved markets in emerging countries. We have also helped organizations in their digital transformation and also helping these organizations using technology for their CSR and ESG impact purposes.
In ARIA, we have 3 institutes that we have set up. The way we are organized is that we have an Institute of Fintech Excellence, an Institute of Health Tech Excellence, and the ARIA Learning Institute. So each of these 3 institutes are there to deliver through its activities on the objectives of ARIA. For the Fintech Institute, it is to look at the operational excellence of the companies that we work with, and to link them with our partners. We can bring about digital innovation, the digitization of current processes, and to bring these companies into the next stage of Industry 4.0. With our Health Tech Institute, we are looking at collaborating with different partners in the ecosystem, where we can help startups, we can help innovators to bring their product to market at a faster pace, and we can also link together funds and investors to provide the money that is often so lacking for the innovators and for the startups. At the ARIA Learning Institute, it is about learning and development. It is about upskilling and reskilling. It's about letting the existing workforce, whether we are talking about experienced people with 10, 20 years experience or new graduates to the workforce, we're helping them to enter into the digital age by better understanding fintech, better understanding digital innovation and the digitalization process. So together with the 3 institutes of ARIA, we hope to deliver our objectives by using tech for ESG good.
At the early phase of digital revolution, the changes that impacted us, we call them disruption. As change becomes constant and the pace of transformation accelerates, that all-encompassing evolution has now become part of our lives. Moving towards the future, our livelihood is dependent on having the right skill set, competency, and more importantly, an adaptive mindset for the multifaceted and ever-transforming world. Hence, the building blocks on learning and development, focusing on tech and digital, are imperative, not only to be functional in the present, but to be more equipped for the future dynamic environment. What deemed as exception and unconventional will soon be accepted as normal. Thus, we have to master a different and unique aptitude for the future. This is how ARIA sees it. So we are focused on supporting stakeholders to adopt and adapt, upskill and reskill. Establishing the ARIA Learning Institute is the first step in providing that support. Our professional learning series on fintech and chartered fintech analyst certification are now in place for this. In the next phase, we hope to build, link, synergize tech concept to include thinking labs for more progressive and innovative learning. We hope you will join us in this journey and do watch this space for more to come.
the Asia Research and Innovation Alliance is an independent non-profit organization that embraces the cutting-edge technology for ESG and CSR impact purposes. Our mission is very simple: technology for good. Our founding members, our board of directors, our advisors, our management team are all extremely professional and experienced entrepreneurs, industry experts, educators that really want to use technology to cause greater impact for the greater good. We have worked with many organizations. We have helped government organizations, non-profit global organizations, using technology to reach the underserved markets in emerging countries. We have also helped organizations in their digital transformation and also helping these organizations using technology for their CSR and ESG impact purposes.
In ARIA, we have 3 institutes that we have set up. The way we are organized is that we have an Institute of Fintech Excellence, an Institute of Health Tech Excellence, and the ARIA Learning Institute. So each of these 3 institutes are there to deliver through its activities on the objectives of ARIA. For the Fintech Institute, it is to look at the operational excellence of the companies that we work with, and to link them with our partners. We can bring about digital innovation, the digitization of current processes, and to bring these companies into the next stage of Industry 4.0. With our Health Tech Institute, we are looking at collaborating with different partners in the ecosystem, where we can help startups, we can help innovators to bring their product to market at a faster pace, and we can also link together funds and investors to provide the money that is often so lacking for the innovators and for the startups. At the ARIA Learning Institute, it is about learning and development. It is about upskilling and reskilling. It's about letting the existing workforce, whether we are talking about experienced people with 10, 20 years experience or new graduates to the workforce, we're helping them to enter into the digital age by better understanding fintech, better understanding digital innovation and the digitalization process. So together with the 3 institutes of ARIA, we hope to deliver our objectives by using tech for ESG good.
At the early phase of digital revolution, the changes that impacted us, we call them disruption. As change becomes constant and the pace of transformation accelerates, that all-encompassing evolution has now become part of our lives. Moving towards the future, our livelihood is dependent on having the right skill set, competency, and more importantly, an adaptive mindset for the multifaceted and ever-transforming world. Hence, the building blocks on learning and development, focusing on tech and digital, are imperative, not only to be functional in the present, but to be more equipped for the future dynamic environment. What deemed as exception and unconventional will soon be accepted as normal. Thus, we have to master a different and unique aptitude for the future. This is how ARIA sees it. So we are focused on supporting stakeholders to adopt and adapt, upskill and reskill. Establishing the ARIA Learning Institute is the first step in providing that support. Our professional learning series on fintech and chartered fintech analyst certification are now in place for this. In the next phase, we hope to build, link, synergize tech concept to include thinking labs for more progressive and innovative learning. We hope you will join us in this journey and do watch this space for more to come.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear all participants, good morning. Welcome back to the IAPI and ARIA Webinar Fintech Talk Series 2, Friday, 6 November 2020, with the topic Digital Banking, Moving into the Era of the Technology Transformation. First of all, I would like to express my thankfulness for all the support that have been given to this webinar, so that this program can be arranged successfully dedicated to the Honorable Mr. Denny Purhadianto, Executive Director of Indonesian Institute of Certified Public Accountant, EECPA or IAPI, and the Honorable Timothy Chen, Executive Director, ARIA, the Honorable Mrs. C. Waisan, Executive Director and Co-founder of Asia Research and Innovation Alliance. And thank also to the moderator today, Mr. Denny Purhadianto. And then, ladies and gentlemen, this is program arranged by the cooperation between IAPI and ARIA. Okay, before we start this webinar today, I would like to inform you the agenda and rules for the joining this webinar. Okay, for the agenda, 9 o'clock until 9:10 o'clock, welcome remarks by Mr. Denny Purhadianto, Executive Director of IAPI, 9.10 to 9.20, keynote address and update on the Fintech Talk Series by ARIA is by Timothy Chen as Executive Director of ARIA. 9:20 until 10.10, speakers, for the first speakers, Justin Fan, and the second speakers, Richie Lee. And then 10.10 until 10.20, quick update and development in the text scenes by ARIA, and then by Waisan C as Executive Director and Co-founder ARIA. And then 10:20 until 10:30, Q&A session. Okay, for the next, ladies and gentlemen, this is condition for participant to participate in the IAPI ARIA Fintech Talk Series 2. Number 1, please wait for the condition for the participant to participate in the IAPI ARIA Fintech Talk Series. Okay, we can see number 1, during the presentation of the material, participant who joined through YouTube can be submit the question via the following link. Okay, you can see the link. Number 2, using the format of the name _ name of college or university or institution or audit firm. And then a question and answer session will be held after the speakers have finished delivering their presentation and will answer the selected questions submitted by participants. Number 3, during the Webinar Fintech Talk Series 2, MC will be read out the 3 keywords which will be stringed together into sentences. The keyword submission will be delivered every 1 hour. Okay, for the example, at 9 a.m., the keyword is institute. At the 9:45, the keyword is Akuntan Publik. And the last, 10:30, the keyword is Indonesia. So, the key sentences on that day is Institut Akuntan Publik Indonesia. Okay, next. For the keyword number 1, they're all participants. You can hear. I will share you the first keyword is digital banking. Okay, dear participant, I will share you the first keyword is digital banking. Okay, the next, dear participant, before we start the webinar, I kindly and honored to invite Mr. Denny Purhadianto, Executive Director IAPI or Indonesian Institute of Certified Public Accountant, to deliver opening speech. Okay, Mr. Denny, please.
Thank you, Asri. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Good morning, everyone. This is a happy occasion to all of us. And because today is the second series of the talk incorporated between IAPI and ARIA Institute Singapore. So in today's topic, we will discuss about the digital banking, moving into the era of technology transformation. As we know that now all of our people in our country, both Indonesia, Singapore, and the ASEAN region, is quite impacted by the pandemic. And due to the pandemic, we are limiting the meeting. We are limiting to see other people. We are limiting ourselves to go to the mall. But we cannot stop doing transaction. We cannot stop buying things. So I think this is the very ideal time for digital banking or online payment system to take to the mainstream. So we will discuss it today. And thank you for your kind attention to all of the session that been held by ARIA and IAPI. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Please, back to you, Asri.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Denny. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Denny Purhadianto, for your opening speech today. Next, I kindly and honored to invite Mr. Timothy Chen, Executive Director ARIA. Mr. Timothy Chen, please.
Thank you.
Okay.
You can hear me loud and clear, right?
Okay, clear.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning. Thank you. I'd like to first congratulate Pak Danny and the wonderful team at IAPI for the successful organization of this Fintech Talks. ARIA, otherwise the full name is Asia Research and Innovation Alliance, is very proud to be your partner. A little bit of background for our viewers. ARIA is an independent non-profit organization that leverages technology, mainly in the fintech space and of course a little bit of health tech space, on creating ESG impact. And under ARIA, there's three institutes: the Institute of Health Tech Excellence, the Institute of Fintech Innovation, of which we leverage a lot of the latest cutting-edge fintech technology to help organizations, to help governments in serving the underserved needs of the population. And our last institute is the Institute of Training and Development, where we have launched 5 courses on digital transformation and fintech courses. And the big announcement will be next month, where we'll be launching the Certified Fintech Analyst Program, both in English and in Chinese, in both ASEAN and in China. So today, I would like to do a really quick, brief introduction of today's topic, which is digital banking. But I'd like to give you an overview of the fintech arena itself. So I'm going to share my screen right now. Okay.
Sorry for the trouble techniques. They're all participants. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Can you see my screen, Azri?
No. Okay, Timothy Chen, please repeat one more. Oh, nggak bisa. Timothy, you can stop the screen share and you can try start screen sharing again. All participants, sorry for the inconvenience. Maybe the Timothy Chen have a trouble the signal. So we can wait for the share. All participants, I want to share about who is ARIA and the
Okay, hi, I'm back. I'm trying to share my screen again. Waisan, can you see the screen now? Can someone respond?
Yes,
Yes.
I can see clearly.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, that's great. All right, so, okay, I'm going to start here. So I'm going to take this very, very quickly through the slides that we have, a quick introduction of a little bit of my experience. I'm the founding member of the ARIA Institute. I'm also the FinTech Director of the Digital Banking Project in the Singapore Management University. And I'm a managing partner of a venture capital firm, IAPI Capital. So let me go straight into the presentation itself, a very quick one. Let me just minimize my screen. If everyone can see, the amount of fintech funding in Southeast Asia has ballooned over the years. If you see between 2017 to 2018, the amount of venture fund has almost doubled to 484 million. And in 2019, the figures just came out, is about close to 960 million US dollars. I'm not sure about 2020 because it's a abnormal year, but you can see that the amount of investments into fintech is phenomenal. This is a quick overview of some of the unicorns in Southeast Asia. If you notice something that's really similar among them, a lot of them have already embraced fintech into their core operations, if not making it one of their key business models. So you can see how important fintech is. I'm giving you a little bit of fintech landscape in ASEAN. This is based in 2018, where almost close to 40% of the big fintech companies are based in Singapore, 20% are in Indonesia, but this is based in 2018. I can see that in 2019, and in fact in 2020, Indonesia has already more or less caught up with Singapore with the amount of fintech companies in the country. So is fintech a really saturated space? I would say that it's not really. This was a recent report by Temasek and Accenture, where they expect digital payments to balloon to $1 trillion and the digital lending to go up to 110 billion and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of space where fintech can really help the emerging countries. So it's a big space, so I urge everyone to really focus on the space. These are the global venture capital backed trends of 2019. There's 7 key areas that venture capitalists focus on. And today itself, we are going to focus on digital banking and bank technology with our really, really good partner, Wallet. They are really, really good in their technology. So I really look forward to them sharing about the technology space in this sector. A little bit of the evolution of fintech, where fintech started from 1.0, 2.0, where it was still the old traditional internet, to today 4.0. We went past the 3 and 3.5 really quickly, where we had all the mobile fintech apps, and the next evolution, I believe, is already here. And it is today's topic that we are talking about, which is all about digital banking. And digital banking is just a quick overview. Digital banking is a digitalization of traditional banking activities and programs in the areas of money deposits, checking, financial products, loan management, so on and so forth. But I just want to say something, that there's two types of digital banking. One is you have the new startups, the neobanks that want to become a digital bank with no legacy issue, and they are mainly startups. So we call them the neobanks. The other area is the traditional banks turning themselves into digital banks, not just internet banks, but digital banks. So you have to make a distinction between the two kinds of digital banking that everyone talks about. So it's a little bit confusing. So I just want to clarify that. And I just want to show on the growth of the digital banks. These are the neobanks globally around the world. You have your N26, your Revolut, your Monzo, the Starling banks in the UK, which I had a chance to visit when they first opened, and it's really extremely dynamic. As you can see, digital banking is a really hot space, and you have almost close to 704 million in 2019 in just one quarter flowing into this space. Now, when we talk about digital banking, you have to know about open banking framework, because it's about being open API to the rest of the financial products out there. So if you look at this chart, you have the light blue, which is the core banking systems, and you have the dark blue part where you have all the modules such as fraud monitoring, predictive analytics, and all these modules on the cloud. And because it's an open API system, you can able to connect to your Alibabas of the world, Amazons of the world, and all the other financial players. So digital banking is a lot about collaborative banking in today's world. Just a quick overview of the Singapore Management University digital banking architecture that we did on. If you go to SMU campus, there is a real live neobank digital bank being run on the campus for the students. It is a pilot project that we did back in 2016, and it is very successful. So this is a live case, and also because ARIA has consulted on Taiwan's old bank to become changing from a traditional bank to a full digital bank in the span of 1 year, and it was named the best digital bank in Taiwan in 2018. So this is just the end of my little short sharing session, and I look forward to the big session by the Wallets team. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Timothy Chen, for your keynote speech. Okay, and then they're all participants. Now it's the time for us to start the important session of webinar today. That is presentation of the subject, and continue with the panel discussion that will be delivered by our speaker today. The session will be guided by the moderator, that is Mr. Denny Puhardianto. For the first, I will read the CV moderator. Okay, Mr. Denny Puhardianto, SA, MSI, AK, CA, CPA Australia, Executive Director of Indonesian Institute of Certified Public Accountant, or IAPI, Bachelor of Accountancy, Erlangga University, Master of Accountancy, Erlangga University, and then Education Director of Institute of Indonesian Chartered Accountants, and then Communication, Marketing, and Business Development Director of Institute of Indonesia Chartered Accountant, and the last Head of Indonesia Institute of Chartered Accountant in England and Wales, or ICW. Okay. And then I kindly invite my Mr. Denny Puhardianto to guide this program. Mr. Denny, please.
Hey, thank you, Asri. I'm back again, everyone. Please don't be bored at me. So yeah, thank you again. We are now entering the session that is it will be a very exciting session, referring to what Timothy said earlier about the Taiwan is moving from traditional banking system to full digital banking. So I think that some banking or some companies in Singapore also moved to full digital banking, and now we have a few digital banking also in Indonesia, and this is very interesting moment for all of us. Whereas I think in the very near future that we don't see people having having some cash inside their wallet. They just use their cell phone to do transaction. Like we know in China, the digital banking and digital transaction is very huge. So I think in ASEAN and especially in Indonesia, we are expecting that trend is happening also. I know that some startups companies and unicorns also in Indonesia are investing heavily in digital payment system backed by the big banks in Indonesia. So I think this is the opportunity for us for the session to know more about the opportunity, the risk, and maybe a bit of the business model of the digital banking, how the security of digital banking, what is the threat, and also some interesting real life case that our speaker will share with us today. So I would like, before we start, I would like to read the CVs of our respected speakers. We will have 3 speakers today. The first one is Justin. Asri, could you share the CV of the speaker?
Yes, Pak, of course, I will share the CV. Okay, please wait, Pak. You can see Pak Denny for the CV Justin. Hello, Pak Denny.
Yes, perfectly. I can see the CV, Justin CV. Okay.
Okay.
Justin Fan, our first speaker is Justin Fan. Justin is the business director Greater China, Southeast Asia, and MENA Wallet. And in the digital world, continuous change is not only constant, but at an accelerated pace. Justin Fan steps in for Wallet as he maneuvers deftly with his skill and experience as a veteran strategist in the digital space. Wallet is an HK Hong Kong-based fintech solution provider. With Justice as the business director, he leads the way in service areas focusing on e-wallet, digital banking, payment solutions, and related projects. He developed tactical plans from partnerships and support transformation as he forges ahead in capturing a strong market base in Greater China, Southeast Asia, and MENA region. His main achievements include assisting Livy, or Livy, a top HK virtual bank, to go live and gain confidence of major organizations in Southeast Asia and Middle East as their consultant in developing a seamless cashless business. Wow, that's impressive. The second panelist, the second speaker is Asri. Can you put on Richie's? Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Richie,
The second panelist is Richie Lee Si Kwang. I hope I've not misspelled this, Richie. Richie is the head of business development and project management at Wallet Indonesia. Richie is the go-to expert in identifying and structuring app solutions for stakeholders who are on the journey of adapting and transforming from the traditional to digital banking. Specifically, in the area of mobile payment, clients who have successfully aligned and implemented cashless transaction in their organizations, they affirm the importance of Richie's proficiency in this area. Besides notable stakeholders and clients, for instance, Bank Buku 4 in Indonesia, Mandiri, BNI, CIMB Niaga, and Penyampaian, many smaller banks have also gained a strong foothold in their market by increasing their competitive edge with Richie's dedicated support. And the last speakers is Mrs. Siu Waisan, a very good friend of mine. Sorry, I can't read the. Can you move the? Asri, can you show the Waisans now?
Okay, I will share.
Okay, thank you. Waisan is the executive director or co-founder of Asia Research and Innovation Alliance, or ARIA, professional accountants, advisor on professional development. Waisan has more than 25 years of experience in both commercial and humanitarian organizations. During her tenure with PricewaterhouseCoopers, she was involved assurance and business advisory, then progressed to head operations management, corporate training, and business transformation. Whilst as an international civil servant with various United Nations agencies, she worked on initiatives related to gender, microfinance, and capacity building. In recent years, Waisan is focused on developing professional programs for commercial organizations and institutes of higher learning. She has structured courses including employability skill, focus training initiative for youth talents, leading several learning and development projects funded by government and nonprofit organizations. She has nurtured not only school leavers and tertiary students, but also young professionals in attaining professional qualification and employment. She endeavors in transforming the professional working space, have helped align organizations in adopting of technology and innovation. Currently, Waisan supports collaborative efforts in developing competence of professionals in areas relating to financial technologies. Leveraging on her unique experience, she strives to reach out to the diverse communities in ASEAN region, teaming up with local stakeholders, advocating on improving knowledge on technology and innovation. So now, without further ado, I would like to give the opportunity to our first speakers, Justin Fan. Justin, you may start your presentation now, and then followed by Richie. Thank you.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Could you please allow me to turn on my video? Hi, Azri, could you please allow me to turn on my video?
Justin, you can on your video.
No, I'm not able to. Anyway, I'm not able to do that. But anyway, let me proceed. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thanks, Danny and the team for the wonderful welcoming remark and the keynote speech. Like you said, indeed, it's a timing and opportunity for digital banking, online payments, and digital transformation. And thanks so much, IAPI and ARIA, for having us. As someone who was studying accounting in college, I'm truly excited to join today's FinTech talking session to discuss the evolution of financial technology with all of you. Today, my teammate Richie and I will be sharing our 2 cents around digital banking. So I'm Justin from Wallet, based in Hong Kong and the Chinese tech hub Shenzhen. We are a digital banking and payment solution provider and technical partner for banks and financial institutions who are willing to digitalize their services. We also provide tech and marketing strategy support, as well as consultancy service. With Wallet, I've been leading the efforts to develop strategic projects and strategic partnerships in those regions you just mentioned, including assisting Libby to go live. Before joining Wallet, I was a founding member of the China Financial Information Center, and I also spent years with Thomson Reuters and the boutique investment firms specializing in financial information and fintech. Okay, enough for myself. let's go back to today's topic, digital banking, moving into the era of technology transformation. I guess some of you may have spent time in China. Most of the retailing transactions now take place through Alipay or WeChat Pay. We've observed and partially created the Chinese story, and we hope to help our banking partners in Southeast Asia, especially in Indonesia, to better react and transfer. Like China, most of Southeast Asia never developed a widespread credit card culture. Let me share my screen so we could take a look at following slides. Can you see my screen? Okay.
Yes, Justin. Yes, we can see your screen.
Sure. Thank you so much. So the following slides combining together provide an overview of the current progress of transformation with regard to banking and banking-related fintech. Tim just shared his insights on fintech disruption in ASEAN and allow me to add on. First of all, open APIs for the banking sectors are expanding across international markets. This is also called open banking. The meaning of this term is slightly different under different regulatory framework, but generally, open banking refers to the opening up of financial institutions, systems, or data to third-party service providers through the use of an open application programming interface, open API. An open API enables secure, controlled, and granular access to data. Open banking encourages collaboration between participants and results in greater convenience for consumers. For example, information about different banks' products and services can be aggregated under the same website or application, enabling consumers to make comparisons and informed choices for financial planning. By the way, my company, we've been supporting banks including Santander UK, Asia United Bank, DB Virtual Bank to develop their open API capabilities for financial inclusion and better customer experience. Now, next 3 pages. Hold on. We can see there are e-wallet players, bigger or smaller, targeting banked segments or unbanked, a standalone app or ecosystem player. We can also see across the value chain, from payment method, merchant, gateway acquirer, to processor, clearing network issuer, fintech players are challenging established players across the journey. Not to mention, over the last few years, many fintech players have launched with the potential to disrupt the financial service landscape. What can we read from these slides? From my point of view, speed is essential, especially in the highly competitive fintech sector. A financial revolution is happening, not only in China, but also in Southeast Asia, one of the world's most economically dynamic regions, with one of the largest population base. Nearly half of urban consumers who are commercial bank customers already use e-wallets, while the proportion is estimated to reach 84% by 2025, a study by Boston Consulting Group shows. The report also says that more than 1/3 of Southeast Asian consumers are willing to shift some of their banking activity, including credit cards and loans, to non-bank digital players. Actually, it's like the Chinese story happened several years ago. Gladly, traditional financial service providers are now acting to ensure their future survival and success. This is also why Hong Kong Monetary Authority, Singapore MAS, and Bank Negara Malaysia have been issuing virtual banking or digital banking license. Let's see how digital banking is rising. We understand Indonesia doesn't have a specific dedicated regulation or license for digital banking yet, but we hope that our today's sharing could help you get prepared. Yeah, there are some important opportunities for the rise of digital banking. For example, there are still many people underbanked or unbanked even globally, including in Indonesia. So there is unmet demand for financial services. And customer engagement was always a challenge. Gladly, now we have more emergent and matured technology and infrastructure. Last but not least, bear in mind, regulations are also changing. Regulators now demand traditional banks to do open API, to open up their APIs for fintech and external developers. Today's customers are used to social media and rapid fulfillment through e-commerce. They're so picky. When it comes to banking from their devices, customers expect the same experience. They want interactive and instant ways to bank from their devices, whenever and wherever. To keep customers interacting and banking with them, banks need to move from being transactional to being integrated into consumers' lives. All in all, digital banking comes into play to promote development of fintech, innovation, reimagination of customer journey, and digitalize service end-to-end, and to offer new customer experience. So what is a digital bank? We can treat them in this way. Digital banking also have full banking license. They just don't have physical branch and use more technology methods to serve their users because they don't have any legacy. The issue with the incumbent banks is that a large segment of the population is left underserved and underbanked. Most customers don't have anything beyond a savings account, implying a lack of engagement and financial inclusion. We believe that digital banking will be able to work as a bridge to the underbanked, and could also help consumers invest, budget, or save better. Digital banking encourages both individuals and SMEs to rethink the relationship they have with their bank and look for alternatives that are more fitting. For example, eKYC technology means individuals could be able to open a bank account with just a mobile phone and identification documents. No need to head to a branch. Yeah. I've briefly elaborated the rise of digital banking and their advantages. However, many digital banks also face the challenges of a cold start and unrecognized brand. We've categorized 4 types of their typical challenges. New customer acquisition, they don't have any customer base or very limited customer base. Secondly, digital banking usually have low transaction volume and unrecognized brand and low customer loyalty. Good news is we do have some solutions implemented, and we would like to share them today. Rich will be taking over from here.
Hello. Okay. Thanks, Justin. This is Richie. Selama pagi, everyone. I'm honored to be here and carry on. I will be sharing more information about the specific and emerging solutions in digital banking. So starting with the digital loan solutions, I will be sharing from my deck now. Please wait a minute. Right. So by its name, digital loan is very easy to understand. It means the bank now moved their loan business to the digital world. But however, it is actually much more powerful and fruitful than it sounds when the bank's business equipped with the advanced automatic credit approved system for loan application. And when they get insights and support from the big data analysis, such as anti-fraud system and risk controlling system model. So if you take a look at the current pain points at banks for loan business, you can see that right now the loan business is very simple and it's heavily depending on the interaction, direct interaction between the loan officers and the customer. So because the bank sets a very high risk control requirement, so most applicants, especially in the Southeast Asia areas, are rejected. And you can see this, as you may all know, that the credit card rates in Indonesia right now is less than 3%, meaning that the rest, 97% people does not have a credit card. So there's a huge capital funding requirement from the citizens in Indonesia. So that's why we need the business loan. And also because there are heavily human involvement in the application process, it is very costly for the bank to obtain new customer for loan business and retain after they get the loan. And that means it is inefficiency on the whole loan processing. The conclusion is very simple. Right now, the banks need to be equipped with fintech solutions to move the whole business to the digital world. If you can look at the simple flow, small comparison between the traditional way to do loan business and the digitalized ways to do it. You see that before there is a digital solution, you will need a loan officer, a risk officer, and then the loan committee to complete the whole loan application process. It could take months, if not weeks. But after, if we are equipped with the digital solution, now the applicant can fill in their application in their mobile phone or their PC, and the data will directly go to the bank system for the loan services, and then of course for risk control and CRM services. Then the system will automatically produce the results, whether it is approved or denied. This process could just take few minutes instead of right now a month, and there will be no longer needed for the manual support. So it significantly lower the cost, and also it improves the security and the approving rates because the system is standardized and the risk control model is much more fruitful right now. So a little bit more to add on for the loan business and especially digital loan business in China nowadays. There's actually two types. One is what we call digital cash loan. The other is digital consumption loan. The key difference is that whether it is scenario bounded, like whether you can get the cash and then spend somewhere else, or you can only spend on the goods and services immediately. The fund flow is also different. For cash loan, the money go directly to the applicant, the user. But for digital consumption loan, although the applicant filed the loan application, but the money will go directly to the merchant. And then the merchant will offer the goods or services to the user. So that's a little bit different. The banks can choose whichever loan business they prefer based on their own user base, user types, and resources. So that's pretty much the landscape of digital loan solutions. The other part is about digital payment, which I think most of you are very familiar with. It's actually two to do digital payment. One is that you create a independent e-wallet mobile application, like nowadays GoPay, OVO, Link Aja in Indonesia. And also the other way to do is that mostly the bank will have their own internet banking app. So when you add the QR payment functions in the internet banking app, you can also consider it as a e-wallet or digital payment application. And this way, it extends the services scope of the bank to its users. And this is the general user journey for doing a digital payment with QR code. So it has two major ways. One is merchant presented mode. The other is a customer presented mode. And more to share on Indonesia right now is that only merchant presented mode is now officially and fully launched in Indonesia by all the e-wallets and bank. And customer presented mode is under testing and development. And it's now only support, I think, by Dana and hopefully soon by other e-wallets as well. So for a digital payment solution, it typically involves some of the basic functions like eKYC, user management, and authenticity. Also bank card and account management, and of course the payment functions like top up payment, P2P transfers and withdrawal. But also it could be much more powerful when it has some like other features, loyalty programs, membership program, coupon, and other third-party services like riding, horsing, food ordering, which I think GoPay in this case are doing quite well because they have made all the offline scenario basically or to their apps. You can even go for a massage on the GoPay app. And I think that's very interesting to know. And now, so that's basically the way the emerging trend for digital solutions and digital banking. Now, I would like to turn on another perspective. Who are the key stakeholders in this digital banking solution? And more importantly, why them to stand out in this business? So obviously, the first one will be the banks, because it is the bank to do the business and move their business from the traditional way to the digital world. And by opening up their capacity to the outside world, it significantly improve their business efficiency and innovative ability. So in the digital world, the bank will still providing professional banking services and financial services, and of course, risk control with a more advanced model. And in returns, by doing digital business, they will get more account opening because now they could serve more unbanked or underbanked people. And it's easier for them to do user retention because there are a lot of referral and loyalty program with digital banking. And eventually they got more deposit. And most importantly, very large amount of precise data for analysis and after sales marketing services. That's the bank. I call it the owner of the business. And the second type is what we call the scenario platform. You could, like example, e-commerce platform or Go mobile platform. These features are that this scenario platform will provide a service to CN customer, covering basically all aspects of our life, like from food and transportation to even payment and lending. Why this platform will play also a very important role in the digital banking, because that they are the one to serve the CN user, to serve us. So they know us better. They know the digital system better than the bank. So by partnering with the bank, they could bring more opportunities and innovative idea to the banks. And of course, they are also happy with the partnership for the bank because they can directly monetize the user base for providing financial service with the bank to their users. So right now, a lot of banks will plan to cooperate with this kind of scenario platform to roll out their digital business. And lastly, of course, is the fintech company like us, wallets. I would like to call them the engineer. The main functions of fintech companies, of course, to provide the IT system and technical solution to the bank. And of course, to provide maintenance services and other like iteration services of the system based on the rapid change of the market. So what is in for us then? instead of just providing the solution. One of the major is that we will also like fintech company will also like to involve in the business operation side of the business. Rather than just being a system vendor, we would like to be actually the partners with the bank so that we can test our products in the markets with a very relevant low cost, and then we get the feedback, and eventually we have the winning products from the markets. So fintech companies now, they are very eager to work with the banks and also in the business market. So after we have shared on the emerging chain and also what type of player in the markets, I would like to share what we wallets has done in Indonesia for the digital solution, how we get started actually. So one very interesting case study is that about loan business that we have mentioned. It's called cash loan solution. Still, we are the fintech company, and we provided an open platform to the banks, one of the banks in Indonesia. But more precisely, we are served as the middleman to connect the bank with the loan platform of the lending company. As you may know that right now, lending company, if they want to do loan business, they need to operate with a third-party payment company, like some of the licensed third-party payment company, like Gobo, so that they can distribute the money to the loan applicant. And now what we do is that we provided the system to the bank and make the bank become the most reliable fund distribution channel for the lending business. So right now, as you can see, as a loan borrower, you file the loan application in the lending company's mobile application or PC. You upload all the requirements, and then the whole process will get approved by the lending company. Then the banks come in. You or the borrower will open a virtual bank account at that cooperative bank, and the loan funding will be directly cashed to this virtual bank account. Then the borrower can cash out on the offline store branch or even ATM networks, or even most helpfully transfer the money from this virtual bank to other banks or e-wallets by operating on the internet banking app. So in this way, the loan applicant can just sit at home, finish the application, get the money on the bank account, and then transfer out. You don't need to go out to anywhere to get the money applicant. So it's very, very popular, especially under the pandemic situation right now. That's one of the solutions we provided at the bank. The other is about payment, just like what we have mentioned. In this case, wallets work with another local bank as well, and because they have very powerful resources with the e-commerce platform, so they are partnering with us to provide what we call a direct debit solution. With this solution, the bank's core banking will be integrated with e-commerce platforms like Traveloka, Akulaku. So eventually, the bank's user, the bank cards holder, after they have buying their bank cards with this e-commerce platform, they could finish a online payment with just a preset.
Hello, sorry, Richie.
Instead of filling in the bank card number, the phone number, your name, and then get the message verification code. So with this solution, we shorten the online payment experience from maybe 10 minutes to just a few seconds.
Hello, Richie.
Significantly increase the user experience of the bank holder, and of course, the successful rate of digital payment. It's actually very familiar in Chinese, but it's just about to roll out in Indonesia in December, hopefully. And one most interesting story to share is that, as you may all know, it is regulated in Indonesia that most of the banks, I mean not all, they could only partner with Okay.
Sorry, Richie. I will share the second keyword. You can stop the share screen.
Guys, continue or
And after this, you will to continue your presentation.
You want to share the screen right now?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can please stop the
Please
share
do.
screen. Okay, they're all participants. I will share you the second keyword is digital banking. Okay, there are ladies and gentlemen. I
Actually,
will
we
share
cannot hear
you
you. Please turn on your mic.
is digital banking. Okay, thank you. They're all participants. Okay, Richie, back to you. You can
Okay, I will continue.
start the presentation. Okay, thank you.
So as I said, in the digital solution industry in Indonesia, there's a little story to share with you is that it is regulated in Indonesia that all the banks could only work with local entities in Indonesia. So for fintech company, overseas fintech company like us, we have only two options. One is that we establish a new branch in Indonesia or to partner with a local entity to provide the solutions to the bank. And we choose the latter. So that here coming our exclusive Indonesia partners, Aras Digital, if you are interested to know more. We partnered with Aras in 2017 and started with the cross-border payment. And now the name of Aras and Swift wallets is very renowned in the regulators like BI and OJK. And we are partnering with Aras to serve the local bank for the direct debit solutions I just mentioned. So we are very excited about working with a local entity, and through the process, I've learned a lot about Indonesia, which is very grateful. So this is a bit sharing, of course. And the rest will be some of the example we do outside Indonesia. One is that we have created a e-wallet called BOC Hong Kong for Bank of China Hong Kong. We rolled out the products in 2018, and within less than 2 years, we have more than million users in Hong Kong, covering 1/7 of the whole total populations. It becomes the major e-wallets in Hong Kong right now. And the other is what we work with Libby Bank, one of the 7 virtual banks in Hong Kong that have actually launched the business. Now with this Libby Bank, we are working also with UnionPay International to do the virtual card issuing. So the user of the Libby Bank could apply for a virtual UnionPay cards and then use their cards at the UnionPay networks all across the globe with QR payments, and also some other activities on the mobile phone as well, like shake for bonus, which is very interesting to play. You shake your phone and then you got a coupon. So lastly is about the loyalty program we have done for some of the KA merchants in Hong Kong as well. It's the JRG group. They have Pizza Hut and KFC, that kind of PhD, that kind of very famous retail food restaurant in Hong Kong. We create the loyalty program for them, like e-gift card, e-coupon voucher, that kind of solution, which you can also apply later on in Indonesian markets. So lastly, if you are still with me, I would like to share one key point, very important key point to all of you to take away from today's presentation, is that digital banking could significantly increase the bank's competitive edge in the market. So that's why all the banks in Indonesia now have to go digital and have to increase to Bank Buku 2 as the baseline for providing digital services. Why? It's very easy, because it's cost saving. You don't have to involve a lot of human resources, and even you could cut down your offline branch when you have all your services going into the digital, and also it extend the business scope and opportunity of the bank. When the bank could partner with third-party platform, and then they could serve the users outside their offline scenario. And most likely that, as I mentioned, the banks in the digital world can adopt an advanced risk control strategy by using all the big data that they gain from their user digital footprint. So as a whole, digital banking should surely be the next big things in Indonesia. And I would like to also try my best to be involved with our bank partners in Indonesia to see their growth and transformation from the digital world. So this is the sharing from my part. And thank you for being along with me. So I will pass my time to Ashri. Hello, Ashri.
Yeah, thank you, Richie. Thank you, Richie and Justin. Very insightful. And
Ashri, my part's finished.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Richie. Very insightful. And also, this is, I will pose a lot of questions to you later on, Richie and Justin. So be ready, ready.
Please fire.
Because sorry, my son, before you start, because one thing in my mind that how can we trust the digital banking? How can we fully trust the digital banking? Because we cannot see the person behind that. We don't have human interaction. How
Right.
can we trust? I think trust is. I will ask that later on.
Later on, yeah.
Later on.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Richie. Thank you. Now, Waisan. Yes, Waisan. Now moving to you, Waisan. Please.
Okay.
You may, if you're ready, you may start now, Waisan. Please take your time.
All right.
Thank you, Waisan.
Okay, I'm not able to share. I'm not able to start my video.
Okay. Oh, really? Wait.
Yeah, now I can.
Yes. Okay.
All right, now you can see
now?
me. Okay, I'm trying to share screen as well. Right. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, perfectly.
Oh, exactly.
Thank you.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Okay. I would like to wish all the ARP participant here selamat pagi kerana mengambil masa untuk hadiri acara online FinTalk yang kedua ini. So let me proceed with sharing some of the updates of the digital economy from the region. And before that, just a quick reflection of what we have shared in the previous talk that in the closing, which I did previously on IQ, EQ, and what is required for the future was DQ. I did say that I will come back and do a quick highlight on one or two of the items. So basically, I did share the purple people and a lot of excitement on that, on the purple people. I've got some feedback that people are to learn more of the traits. I'm not sure whether you have time to go in and have a look and what are the traits of the purple people, but for sharing now, you can see the red are more of the tech people with the tech skills, and the blue is more of the business acumen. And we need to blend and marry these two for the aptitude that is required for the new digital economy. Right. And before that, there's also a new term that came out. I've read risk jack, but today we won't talk more about that. But you can go and find out. And from this screen, I've shared last time. And what are from LinkedIn, the latest report they have on 2019? What are I did ask last time amongst the ASEAN country or Southeast Asia country, which is the one most common factor, one common factor, which is the rising skills of the ASEAN countries. I'm not sure whether you did take a good look of it, after the talk, but it is the common item is actually human-centered design. A little bit more sharing on the human-centered design. Why is it important? Is when we start something, the journey of transformation is very important, and this is also one of the United Nations message that went out, that at the end of it must be for the purpose of the users. So with the users in mind, with the intention of understanding the user, the consumer in mind, that's where the journey of the transformation should happen. It's linked to design thinking, but design thinking is just to facilitate it, but the all-encompassing is the HDC. So something to take note of, and I will also touch on all these factors a bit later as I progress in my talk. Now, very much into the key topic which I'm talking about today is the digital economy. We take a look at ourselves in the region, ASEAN, and sometimes comparing it, I will compare it to what the global trend is compared to us. And later on, I'll zoom in specifically to Indonesia. I hope to complement this with the talk that Justin and Richard had earlier, and to see how together all this knowledge will help you look into your strategy planning ahead. Okay, this is taken from the World Bank 2019 report. They have just issued, I believe, and the 5 areas, I've added on a 6 for consideration, but this is not, this is complementing what we will be looking at in these 5 areas in terms of connectivity, payments, logistics, skills, policy, and regulation. Connectivity, we still need improvement in terms of availability, affordability, and high-speed connectivity. I'm not sure if you know about the incident that we have in Malaysia, that in Sabah, a girl that, she needs to climb a tree to be able to get internet connection so that she can complete her exam. So, still there is a problem within the ASEAN country in terms of this accessibility. Payment. What the World Bank says is digital payment is essential. Is an enabler for the digital economy. They did, from their findings, they took note that 19% of ASEAN, percent of our population and ASEAN will access the account from a mobile phone or internet. Whilst if we compare it to the world, the midterm income group, 27% are doing this, and even the sub-Saharan Africans, 24%, which is higher than us. Logistic-wise, still a problem. It can be expensive and sometimes unreliable. Skill, and this is very important, is a key element in the building blocks of transformation. We still lack of digital ability and knowledge. We are not talking about just the experts, the specialists. That one we need, but the consumer who use it needs to understand how to use a mobile phone, how to access, how to purchase something online. That's the basic ability to of accessing virtual online application. And with this is actually opening up a lot of opportunities and benefits. Once we get that tipping point, people will turn over and be able to use. Many of us, the population in ASEAN, are able to use online application. Then the stumbling blocks is always back to the policies and regulation. Less than 50% of ASEAN countries have comprehension protection law. Of course, there's lack of coordination about us as well. I know that previously we amongst the professional accountants, we have talked about mobility, cross-border, working cross-border, but because of the regulation, it has been a real stumbling block on that front as well. Then the other things that complement all this to build a successful digital economy is, more efforts on online licensing, permit approvals, the tax policies, and addressing some of the issues on digital identity. Right, from this, you can see World Bank has already identified the foundational, the 4 pillars that will help really spur the digital economy. Again, affordability, accessibility to high-speed broadband, the readiness of digital skill set, online payment, logistic, and also the regulations, and again, digital ID, as I mentioned. Right, let's move on. Okay, just take a quick look at this. This is all based on our end comparing to the world. You can see that this is, I'm starting off with older data first, then I'll move on to recent. You can see that in 2017, how much time is spent on internet and what are the key areas of e-business growth. E-commerce, travel, ride-hailing, and also online media. Then quick look, 2016, this is also captured in one of the reports. You can see that people do search, they visit online, purchase a product, make an online purchase, actually moving on to actual purchase within a region. Not very high, 2016, this is looking at, but comes today. You just take a look how it is before COVID, then during, and then moving. This is the physical retail store, which means actually going to the retail store, and we can see that the projection of retail store will be much lower because many people are now comfortable and purchasing online. It's mainly because driven by the pandemic, the COVID. You will see that the online channels will go higher in percentage. All right. Let's take a look more on also more recent. You look at the revenue that was earned just in the first quarter. It spiked up, and also looking at that they did this. In fact, comparing with the cases of COVID that gone up, it really went all the way up in terms of people accessing and purchasing online. Consumers are now going a lot on online because of all this and the COVID impact on consumers. Recently, Malaysia closed down or stopped all cinemas. We don't have cinemas now. It's closed from November onwards. I'm not sure when cinemas will reopen again. Physical store, Robinson closed down. Topshop closed down, some parks also closed down. And you see the fast declining e-commerce product that people are buying so much for the sharp decline. I'm not sure why men's swimmers wear, when I see swimwear went down, okay. No more going to the beach, okay, bridal and all that. But you can see here is like men's, but you know what? After I see this and I think more, women have not stopped shopping, I think. It's the women products, like clothing and all that, I think it's pretty much there. I do more online shopping, I must admit. And you have to, and to think out the box, people, entrepreneur have gone into next phase. So the cinemas have closed down. The last I heard, they want to change the cinemas into a site for gamers to go there to play games with big screen. It's thinking out of the box. I think Topshop and Robinson is going online, pop-up shops and all that. So there are opportunities. So something dies, but you move on to something else. That is how it is. We got to be versatile in our thoughts and thinking. A little bit more on consumer purchase, what they are buying, what they have reduced buying. Is really interesting to note. Some have not moved much. They are still relatively there, like apparel and accessories. I'm sure it has not gone down very much, that sort of thing, but I'm sure it will spike up because people are buying more online. Right. And then we look at the digital adoption in the region. I will come back to this later, but you can see the digital adoption, of course, Singapore, Malaysia, yeah, and Thailand, more have gone and adopt digital concept in terms of their daily life in purchase and all that. Right, if you look at this is very interesting. Digital enables traders. So those are in the telecommunication, laptops, IT, trades and all that. What is interesting to note is Philippines, it's so high up. It spiked even before the COVID. And I would like to share that, Singapore, they are really ahead. You can see that Singapore is not here because they are really ahead. They are in the first world, and you can see that the value add that they have in terms of going to digital, it's part of their economy and trade. Okay, zooming down more onto Indonesia. You can see that before I talk about startup and all that, there are lots of activities there and lots of opportunities. ADB Bank issued the 2020 report in March. They found the study of adoption rate. You can see the adoption rate is low. And although there is awareness, but there's still low adoption rate. This is all the benefits they have listed down, and also some barriers, but there are a lot to be gained there. So there are so much opportunity. If this is increased, you can see that the exponential gain is really very much there for the taking. Indonesia look at the areas of emerging technologies, and they're also looking at what are the Industry 4 technologies that they want to use to go into the emerging technologies like the nanotech and the biotechs of the world. I must say that Malaysia tried to do this during our former Prime Minister Badawi time, but not very successful there. But in the recent years, Thailand has surged quite in advance, in ahead of us. Again, if you can look at this, you can see that the research, to be able to go into this new technology, you need the R&D investment. And in wordings at site here, I've listed down like in 2015, what was the investment? Again, Singapore is very high. From 2015 till this is 2017 is, they have increased, not very significant, but they're still there. Malaysian have increased from 1.1 to 1.3, and you can look at others. For Indonesia, it has been a slight decrease from their 0.1%. But let's look at the breakdown, what Indonesian sector are spending in terms of the R&D. The commitment that you have from your government is there, so they're committed to build the future. And also very much into the education. This is a very positive sign. Businesses, perhaps, with the COVID now, there will be more investment. Because in Malaysia, I know projects that were planned for 2 years, they have accelerated it and finished in 2 months. And mainly because of the pandemic. Well, moving on, it will also lead to more innovation and also startup. You can see Indonesia is in the forefront. Okay, before I close off, I would like to share, informing strategy and all that, give a reflection to the balanced scorecard. These are the 4 main pillars that you really should be looking at. I mean, accountants would know this. Financial, I've talked about the R&D. Customers and stakeholders. Who would this customer be? How would they purchase? What would they be buying? And how would they be connected to you? How are you going to reach out to them? And with this, the internal control will change because of the technology transformation. Job functions are changing, organization structure are changing. Hence, you need to review, revamp, restructure the controls element. Learning and control. Can't say more on this, but it is crucial that needs to be looked on, and it is the drive, because the journey of change is started by people, and because of change is also driven by people. And lastly, in building the strategic roadmap to change, we need to understand the internal and external needs, how to prioritize the change, because it's also take mindset and also cultural background that we have, able to define and perhaps to anticipate what would be the customer client's need, mapping it back to tactical approach, forming collaboration and the right support is very important. I also want to share that based on the ADB report, a very interesting item to note on Indonesia, that you have scholarship in terms of innovation space. And this is very good, because this is how you're going to build the next generation, a generation to come to fit into the space of digital economy. With that, I thank you very much. And yeah, feel free to contact us, to contact me. And this is my contact details. Thank you very much. And I would like to say terima kasih kepada semua. And this would not be the last collaboration between ERP and ourselves, and even with Wallet. Kami harap semua akan menghadiri Fintech Talk yang berikutnya, dan harap semua akan stay safe, stay home. All the best. Thanks.
Thank you, Aisan. Thank you, Aisan. Very insightful presentation, Aisan. Okay, before we move into the question and answer session, I would like to ask all panelists. I think can we have extra 5 minutes more on the question and answer session, because I see a lot of feedback here, and I think the audience would like to explore more on the topics that delivered by Justin, Richie, and also Waisan. Is it okay? Justin, Richie, and Waisan,
yes.
We need extra 5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. So now we are entering the question and answer session. I will pose some questions first to Justin and Richie. We have 3 questions. So the first one: what is the value of the digital banking in relation to suppress or to minimize the non-performing loans? So is the digital banking can minimize the non-performing loans, and how, if it can, and how? And then the second one is how digital banking can help to increase the performance of banks. If a traditional bank move to digital, how can it increase? How digital banking system can increase the performance? And then the third one is from me, Richie and Justin, the trust issue. So okay. How do you deal with the trust issue? I know that the adoption rate of digital banking is going higher and higher now, but initially, how did you, or if you still deal with the trust issue from the customer? Okay, thank you. And later on, I will post question to Aisan. Thank you. Please, Richie and Justin, you may respond.
Okay. May I have one more again about the first question? What specific loan that is?
Non-performing loans. How digital banking can minimize the non-performing loans?
Non-performing loan.
Non-performing loans, yeah.
I will be honest that I am not quite familiar with how non-performing loan works, but I would say that as I mentioned in the PowerPoint, how the loan process can be minimized from the digital solutions. One I think is that when the bank apply, if they have rolled out a digital solution for loan application, for the user side, they could easily cut down for their efforts in the applying process. And the other is that the bank could also cut down their costs and deploying the whole process, so that both parties will have a lower can have a lower cost for applying that. And I think that part that cut from the digital solution can redeploy back to the applicant, like lowering the whole rate, because the bank has lower costs, so that they have a much more higher profit margin. Then the bank could consider to lower the rates for the applicant, which will means that lower the whole loan process, like the whole loan repay from the applicant. So this actually happening in China as well. When the banks go for the digital, they will say like, hey, right now the whole process is costing us less, so we will be also lowering the whole rate of the loan. So it benefits to both the bank and the user. So I think if that is answer the question, is that because we go digital, the cost is lower, the rates will be lower. I mean, like the interest rate. Okay. So the second question is about how digital banking solution can increase the performance of the bank. So the key question is that I think it lies on the data that we generate from the digital solutions. You know, before that, as I said, for loan business, the bank will heavily relying on the account managers and direct interaction with the customer. You will need to be asked a lot of questions. You will need to provide all the paperwork. But that's I would say, independent case. One customer's information cannot be used for another customer. But right now, if you put all the information onto the database, the bank could actually analyze the previous customer's data, their profile, their repay rates, and eventually they can come up with a better risk control model. And with that model, it's for the applicant is that they will get quicker results from the application process. And for the bank, it actually can reduce the, I would say, four long rates, meaning that they will able to select the best quality of the applicant, meaning that there will be less applicant that cannot repay the loans from the bank's perspective. So the bank will have a much better performance in anti-fraud and also in the fraud rates calculations when doing loan business. So, and I think the last question also resonated with the first two, is that how can we trust the bank? I would say that in this business, the question should be, why don't we trust the bank? You know, right now when you want to apply for a loan, you go directly to the lending company, and then you file the applicant, and then you get the money from like a convenience store or their branch. And in the meantime, you will be deducted a lot of a service fee from like the offline store. And maybe eventually the company, like for the bank, they will use a third-party payment to distribute the money, as I said, like some e-wallets, some local financial institution. Maybe there's a risk actually happened in China, is that those companies, they get the money from the lending business and then they run away. The people actually do not receive full money or full loan, but still they need to repay to the loan business, the lending company. But all the money is actually being still by those payment company. But right now, when the banks come in, there will be no risk, basically no risk of the bank stealing all the money and run away, because the bank is highly regulated by the regulator. And for the lending company is that the user is screened by the bank, meaning that the bank will do a first layers of eKYC of the user. So the lending company is much more confident in the user to repay their money through the bank channel. So so it's actually a win-win solution for all parties. The lending company, they have much more confidence in the repay of the user. The user will have a lot of confidence by like lower service fee, and also repay channel easier. And the bank, they will get more deposits and accounts opening in this area. So that's why in China, actually the regulator like central bank, they are encouraging the banks to personally take leads in this business instead of some local financial institution, which is more high risky. So why we trust the bank? Because the bank has a higher reputation. They are highly regulated by regulator. They have a lot of capital. They will not run away. And the system provided by themselves or provided by third-party payment will be highly scrutinized by like third-party penetration system company. Because if the bank want to do new business, they need to go all the way the process to report to BI, to report to OJK, and to do all the testing. So the question is, if we are willing to trust a third-party financial institution, then why shouldn't we trust the bank? So that's also our position. We empower the bank to do the business that provide all the benefit to all the citizens. Yeah, so that's my answer. Okay.
Thank you, Richie. Justin, would you like to add something?
就是为什么你要相信这个银行去做这个业务 ？Okay, I will invite Justin here.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one thing to quickly add on. Those banks are fully licensed. Their license are got from the monetary authority of the central bank. Why, if we trust the traditional conventional bank, why don't we trust the new type of digital banks? Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Justin and Richie. Now moving to Waisan. Waisan, yeah, that's very interesting, Waisan. The way you saw the demographic, the trends, last year trends, and then the latest trend in 2020. Waisan, let me ask you about the future. In your opinion, Waisan, especially for the purple people. during my younger days, I know not purple people but blue people. You remember that the three the blue people? Yeah. For the purple people, we know that they are on the center point of the COVID pandemic, right? They experience it. Yes. Like your kids, my son also experienced. Yes. So what do you think the will they have different attitude after the pandemic?
I'm so definitely sure that they will have. Previously, children, I see children playing the playground, that sort of thing. The interaction is very physical. When the first lockdown happened, it was, I felt very much because it did some psychological impact to children, especially in Malaysia. Only one person is allowed to go out at any one time to buy food. And usually I'm the one who go out and buy food because my husband doesn't know. I mean, there's many jokes about him going to the shops and not coming back with the same thing that I wanted. So yeah. So when I go out, I see the playgrounds empty, the badminton courts are empty. All the outdoor activities are virtually zilch, and you don't see any children. I don't see any children on the street. I don't see them anywhere. So they are all packed in. What happened? I mean, for my son, he said, I wish, because I have limited his interaction online so much that he doesn't know most of his friends' phone number and all that. It was quite bad because he can't go out. He only can play certain games and he can only read physical books or the online books and that sort of thing. But you can see after that there was a break. Then they went back to school. They came back, and this time round it was better. I tell you, every night after dinner they will communicate, but it's all online. So this is what they're used to, and they don't know about analog and digital. What's the difference? We are used to phone, so to get in touch even with my in-laws, the physical phone, the analog one doesn't work very well anymore. So we need to get that phone, and I'm trying to explain to my son how a normal phone look like. It's not. But having said that, there will be a digital divide. You see, those in the city, we go on online classes. She's very comfortable now going online. But like I say, in the rural area, there will be a digital divide. How do we, even as a country, bring that together? I think it will be less like, for example, in Singapore, where everybody is exposed to that digital environment, whereas some of the children in the rural areas, how are we going to manage that digital divide? That is the question. So the purple people, does it only belong to the ones in the city? I don't know. There's a lot of questions there.
Okay, Baisan. So due of the time limit, so I think Baisan, a bit. I'm not trying to conclude your presentation, but I think the next step will be we should have pay more attention to the future of these purple people, and I think in ARIA Institute and IAPI collaboration, we can start thinking of this and give solution. And I think as Timothy said earlier about the kind of competencies, new kind of competencies, all will be based on digital, right? So I think we should consider this in our future planning and thinking.
Yep. So we in ARIA, we have certain plans. Of course, we have the chartered fintech analyst. We also have the little more on the bite side one is micro to build that awareness. So the collaboration with IAPI is good. This is the first step. We need to awaken that part then they know there is a need. That they need to this is one of their needs. If not, they're not aware that there's a need to gain digital knowledge, environment, and to be able to fit into the digital economy.
Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's time for us to end the session. I would like to add some very important keywords from the discussion. The first one is, why don't we trust digital bank? Okay, that's the first one. The second one, digital banking system applied, the hope is to have better economic condition, more efficient economy, and better economic growth. And then for the purple people, as Waisan said, you will be on the center stage of the world. So you better be ready, you get ready yourself, and those businessmen, I think the business people, I think you should start to cater to these purple people and reconsider your business model. Okay, please, all the panelists, Richie, Justin, Timothy, Waisan, please stay on the Zoom because we will have photo session after Asri close the session. Asri, get back to you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dengi Puhadianto. Okay, dear all participants, I thank you so much to Mr. Justin Fan, Mr. Richie Lee, and also Mrs. C. Waisan for the which has been presented, and thank to Mr. Dengi Puhadianto as moderator for guiding the webinar program so that this program can be running well. Thank you very much to all participants for joining the webinar program till end. Okay, the next we will inform you requirements to get the E-Certificate. Okay, condition for participant to participate in IAPI ARIA Fintech Talk Series 2. Okay, the participant who join the webinar through YouTube are entitled to receive a certificate with the following condition. Number 1, participants are required to attend a series of Webinar Fintech Talk Series 2 until end, and then fill out the survey after the Webinar Fintech Talk Series 2 through the link. You can see the link in YouTube channel, and then enter the right combination of keyword on the evaluation form according to what the MC delivered during the Webinar Talk Series 2. This link is only valid 1 hour after series of Webinar Fintech Talk Series 2 Live and Up. That is on Friday, November 6, 2020 at 10:30 until 11:30. Once again, 10:30 until 11:30. And the last, the E-Certificate can be downloaded on November 13, 2020 at the following link. Okay. Thank you. There are, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to close the webinar program today. On behalf of the committee, I thank you very much for all participants. See you again next time in another program. And good morning. So we have a photo session. Okay, before photo session, I will share to third keyword. And for the third keyword is platform. Okay, once again, the third keyword is platform. Okay, thank you. We will the photo session. Please, all panelists turn on the video. Oh, okay.
Now, please, before you click. 1, 2, 3. Smart. Okay, Asri?
Okay, Pak. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Pak Denny,
Right,
and all
thanks,
participants. Yes,
Right.
and all panelists.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Timothy. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Richie. Thank you, my son.
Thank
you, my
Happy
son.
Sunday.
Have a good weekend, yeah. Thank you very much.
Friday. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I hope we can meet in person soon, yeah.
Yes,
After
sure.
the pandemic, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a lovely
Okay, thank you so much. They're all participants. It's time to close the webinar program today. And thank you very much for your participant. See you again next time in another program. Good morning and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye-bye.